Do's and don'ts when hurt boxing.
So we're looking at Amir versus Danny Garcia. This was the first knockdown where Amir was taken to the ground by a big wide left hook from Danny Garcia. We're going to see how Amir reacts, and we're going to correct the mistakes that he makes so you know what you should do if you're ever in this situation. So Amir's first reaction was to double guard, which is correct. But then he pushes Danny away and he starts punching back. You don't want to punch whilst you're hurt. You want to think pure defense. We go to the next round now. He's creating space between him and Danny Garcia. And although it sounds like it makes sense, you're creating distance between you and your opponent because you're hurt. But you're actually putting yourself in front of more danger, because the further apart you are from your opponent can swing in wild shots. Instead, you want to stand close and smother them. You want to think pure defense. You don't want to hurt your opponent now. You want to just survive and recover. So Amir running away. He's taunting Danny Garcia, which means he's probably seeing red. He's in fight mode, and that's not what you want to do. You want to be able to calm down and survive. So you see Amir resorting to double guard now, which is good, but he's still taunting Danny Garcia. He's still trying to punch back, and he's been countered numerous times in the exchanges, which is not what you want. How you can prevent yourself getting countered is by just simply not punching. Just putting your double guard up, holding your opponent, leaning on your opponent, trying to wear them out, look them in the eye, and just hold your ground, but think pure defense. Now when you're punching in the exchanges, your reaction time isn't as quick, and whilst you're hurt, a shot that might not hurt you that much is going to hurt you a lot more, because you're a lot more vulnerable whilst you're hurt. So it's good in parts when Amir thinks pure defense, but then he just gets a bit rattled and pissed off and fires back and shouts and taunts. Then he gets caught with big flush shots. So whilst Amir's been exchanging back with Danny, look how many haymakers he's been hit with. Big left hooks, big overhand rights. These are really, really powerful punches that are going to have a dramatic effect on him. And it's funny because when we see the end of this fight, he was hit by a punch that didn't look too hard. Look, just there on the top of his head, and he was taken out by it. A shot on the top of the head, which usually wouldn't hurt, took out Amir because he was mixing up in the exchanges, becoming more weak. Now look at Mayweather, look what he does. He holds on for dear life and thinks pure defense. He says, I'm not going to get hit again. And look, double guard, he just walks on to Mosley. He's pressurizing him, pushing him, because he's still conscious. He's still conscious even though his legs are shaking, so he can still think. And he knows he has to assert pressure on Mosley, but keep walking forward and not allowing nothing else flush to him. And that's what he does. I haven't seen Mayweather throw a single punch. He just asserted himself on him. Soon he'll begin to pop out the odd shot, but he's just thinking pure defense because he wants to recover. And he knows if he's hit now, it could be night. He doesn't want to say, look, he's hit again flush. And look at the effect it had on him, twice. But he's thinking pure defense, because he knows a fight isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. If he can survive this sector, this little patch in the fight, he can later come on strong, which he does do. Okay, he threw a punch back now, because as I said, you can pop the odd shot in there. You're going to need to keep your opponent realizing that you're still alive and you're still in there. But you need to think pure defense. Look at that little feint. Mosley reacted to it. So as Mayweather's doing, you want to think pure defense and you want to stay as close to your opponent as you can. Doing so can smother them. Look at Mayweather, he's using his hands to smother smother Mosley. Look at Mayweather, he's leaning his head in his chest, he's smothering him, making it harder for Mosley to land power shots, being up close. Look at that, he just dipped down. When you tried to wing him, dip down, hold him close, double guard again. This is exactly what you need to do when you're hurt. You need to pressurize your opponent and think defense. The offense that you're going to attack your opponent with isn't in punches, but rather is in your body positioning. You're going to position your body in a way in which your opponent is going to feel your presence. They're going to feel you standing there in front of them, and it's going to make them want to punch. But as you're thinking pure defense, you're going to just dip down, lean on them. Dip down, lean on them, hold them. And that pressure is going to be as if you're landing punches on them, because it's going to fatigue them and it's going to make them think, wow, aren't I hurting this guy? This guy's real tough. And you're going to put them in their zone, you're going to put them in their place. They're going to calm down very soon. So whenever you're hurt by an opponent, you don't want to just create space where your opponent can wing in and smash you with wild punches, but instead you want to think pure defense, smother them, and stay as close to them as you can.